Hello, welcome. Here we are. Here's the final live before the summer break. If you see my hair moving, it's because I have a fan on. It's incredibly hot here. So this is what we're going to do today. We're going to talk all about the coaching industry. Now, this is a big topic, and I've been in this industry for 10 years, and I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of things that I like and the other things that I'm not so keen on. And this is something I wanted to cover today and talk about today. So, as an NLP trainer for the last 10 years, there's been a lot of things that I've recognized in the NLP industry that can work really well, that can really help a lot of people. And also, coaching's very linked in with that as well. Though, those of you who don't know, my background's in NLP. And I've been working with this for 10 years. And I wanted to share a couple of things that people often forget. I do have a podcast episode on this, and I go into it much more depth. And I think there are about 5 things I cover in the podcast episode. You can find the link in the description of this video. Though for today, I'll talk about two things that I often find that come up, and especially when people are starting their journey, of really looking into like wanting to be a coach, wanting to like help other people, getting excited about a new methodology, new techniques, and not even just in the coaching industry. This can also be when people learn a new form of another practice, another therapy, another modality, something else. So this is something that's very common that comes up, and I wanted to cover this because I've seen this happen time and time again, where people start a new training, they get really excited about what they're learning, and they benefit from it, and they see changes in their life, and they see changes in the lives of other people that are doing the training as well. And then what can happen is that sometimes there's this tendency to see what they're learning and what they are training in is the only thing out there, that it's the only thing that will help people, and that it's the answer to everything. And I've seen this happen so many times, and it's wonderful to see people excited about what they're learning and what they go through. And what I've often reminded my students is that, for example, with NLP, like, everyone can benefit from NLP at some way or another, though NLP is not for everyone. It may not resonate with everyone. So there's a difference there. Like, many people can benefit from it, but it's maybe not the thing for every single person, because maybe someone else prefers another practice, another modality, another form of therapeutic healing modalities or practices. There's different things for different people. And when we believe in something so much, which is amazing and it's wonderful, and this is something that we need to do if we're professionals and we're using something. So let's just talk about NLP for the time being. Say I'm using an NLP, I need to believe in the power of the mind. Like, if I don't believe in that, then there's no point teaching about it. So I need to believe in it, and also share that with clients, and also share that online if I'm sharing things online. But what many forget about is that we also need to bring in humility. We need to bring in humility and recognize that this may not be the answer for every single person. This may not be for every single person, and that's okay. So it's going back to one of the very key presuppositions that we have in NLP. There's a list of different presuppositions that we have, and one of the key ones is respect other people's map of the world. That includes clients, that includes customers, that includes potential customers, that includes family, friends, loved ones. This is very common also, that you start learning about something, you're super excited, and then you're like, oh, okay, everyone needs to know this. My family members, they need to change, they need to do this. My loved ones, my friends, this, that, and the other, like trying to impose it on other people. And that's not practicing NLP, in my opinion. So we need to respect other people's map of the world. We need to recognize that I have my map, and in my map, the power of the mind is super powerful and it's important to know about. And in someone else's map of the world, like their belief system, the power of the mind might not be there, or it may be there, yet they prefer a different modality. Maybe they prefer EFT, maybe they prefer kinesiology, maybe they prefer something else, and that's okay. So we can absolutely share with passion what we learn and what we work in and what we do, and also with respect. Respect, not imposing onto the other, not imposing that this is the answer for everything. And sometimes that can come up, and I've seen this quite often in coaching, in NLP, in therapy even, that sometimes it almost becomes like this religion, and people want to impose it on other people and think that they have the answer for everything. So it's important that as professionals that we have that humility also, that we recognize that we are there to support, to help, to shine a light, to be a mirror, like hold up a mirror to certain aspects of the client's unconscious mind to help them move through whatever challenge they're moving through, though not to force or impose or push people into things, which can happen with sales and marketing. So it's having respect for the other person's map of the world. And what ties in with that also is sometimes there's this tendency, like when you become a professional and you're working as a therapist or a coach, that you can think that you're there to fix the other person. Like clients come to you and you're like, okay, I'm going to fix this problem, like whatever problem they come with. And having this mindset of fixing, that someone is coming with a problem that we need to fix them and fix the problem, sometimes can be more harmful than good. I tend to focus more on everyone at their very core is completely whole and perfect and has everything that they need already. Everyone. Even if they're in like the biggest challenge, even if they're like self-sabotaging to no end or have loads of limiting beliefs, at their core, they are perfect, whole, they have everything that they need. And when we hold that belief, we are able, on an energetic level and also through the session, that we are able to really fully help them remember that, because we believe it. We believe it so much. And it's our job to help them remember that. It's not about fixing a broken person. There are no broken people. It's about helping them to remember who they truly are. It's about clearing away the cobwebs, those limiting beliefs, if there are any that are detrimental to where they want to be or what they want to experience in life. Help them open up the mindset and the perspective of like, wow, yes, okay, I do have the skills, I do have the capabilities, I am good enough to live the life that I want to experience. And it's helping them to remember that rather than trying to fix something. And sometimes professionals can place a lot of pressure on themselves when clients come with a particular issue. It's like, oh, what do I do? I need to fix this. I need to get rid of this for them. And yes, of course, we do need to learn the skills and have the techniques and practice them and do our very best to be the best professional that we can and the best coach that we can to really help them move through things. And if we are stating things on our website that we can help with a particular issue, we need to know about that issue and we need to know what we're doing. Though it can vary from person to person, and sometimes people are not quite ready to let go of particular challenges. And if that's the case, then we can help them to look at that in particular, not about getting rid of whatever challenge they're working through, but help them to really connect with, okay, how do I benefit by holding on to this problem? And how, like, what do I gain by holding on to this? And what's really behind that? Like, what is driving that behavior? Because there's always a positive intention there. There's always a positive intention and drive that is running behind every single behavior. Every single behavior. So it's like, okay, what's behind that? And help them understand that. And then if they need to let go of that challenge or that habit or that behavior, then they will do that. Though it's really finding out about like what lies beyond everything, beneath everything. So just a quick recap. Humility. Like as a professional, it's important to be humble and to really recognize that everyone's on their own path and that everyone has a right to choose and everyone has a right to really tune in to what is their truth. And also we can inspire and we can support and we can provide a safe place for people to experience tools and techniques that can help them move through things with that mindset of they are whole and complete already. They are whole and complete already. They have everything that they need. Just perhaps they haven't figured it out yet, or they've forgotten, or perhaps they just need to do a little bit of research or learn something new. But at the core, they have all the resources that they need. So this is going back to the presuppositions of NLP, and it's important. And there are so many practitioners out there that actually don't even practice the presuppositions and integrate them into their life. So those presuppositions are there for a reason. And it's important to notice that, and especially with loved ones and family members, because some of them might not want to hear anything. They might not want to change anything, and that's their choice. And they are absolutely able to do that and okay to do that, because it's been your choice to learn a particular methodology, if that's NLP or coaching or whatever, if that's been your path. Or maybe some of you watching are not a professional, but you're just finding this topic curious as well, but it's okay too. Though it's been your path to learn, and it might not be the path of family members or loved ones. So respect the map of the world and respect their path. And then another big thing that's really important that often can get overlooked and people don't really follow through in depth with this is the inner work, the self reflection, the awareness, like going inwards. So as the professional, it's so key that you, whether that's through another paid professional or whether that's with friends that have been on a similar journey, learning a similar thing, or whether you do that on yourself, that you look at what comes up for you in your life, you look at beliefs that come up, you look at the emotions, and you work through those, because they will keep coming up. This is part of life. All these different things will pop up, the fears and the doubts, and especially if you're growing and evolving and moving through new layers and stepping forward and doing new things, there'll be all these different beliefs and things that will come up. And it's important that you look at that rather than avoiding it. And by looking at that and the depth that you go into that is a direct correlation of the depth that you can take your clients. If you're only looking at surface level things, or you're not really paying attention to what you need to work on, and all the focus is on outside and other people and work and clients and all of that, and you're not looking at yourself, then you can't fully take your clients to the depth that you could do if you were looking at your own stuff. Because at the end of the day, they are all mirrors. They are all mirrors. Every single student, every single client, they are all mirrors. Because if there's this thread that's running through everyone, everything in life, if there's this thread, and we're all part of the same, we're all part of this greater collective, they're all mirrors. They're all part of different aspects of the unconscious being presented to you so you can learn about yourself. And with that perspective, there's some really interesting insights that can come up. And it doesn't mean to say it's like a direct reflection. So, for example, it could be a reflection of someone is reflecting back something that you've yet to integrate in yourself, like a skill, a capability, or something like that. People can be a reflection in the sense of something that you've overcome, and it's reflecting something about you in your past, and that you can guide them through that. They can be a reflection in the sense of it's something that you are currently going through that you're aware of, and then they come and highlight that to you. Or it can be in a reflection in the sense of they bring something to your awareness that you were not aware of, and you're like, oh, I have this too, and it's something that you need to work on. And if that's the case, then it's fundamental that you do the inner work yourself as well. So then you don't project your stuff onto your client because we don't want that. So there are many different ways that people can be mirrors in many, many more ways, but those are some of the keys, and it's just really important to notice that. And if you're a professional, if you're a coach, if you're an NLP practitioner, if you are a therapist, this is something to pay attention to. There are many, many more things, though I've put the link of the podcast episode in the description, so there's more in the podcast episode. After this recording, I will also put a link to an old blog post that I wrote a long time ago, but it went through 7 different things that I've learnt since being in this field. And even though I wrote that a long time ago, a lot of that still is relevant. So I just wanted to share these today because I was just seeing that sometimes there's this tendency to think that as the professional, it's like, I have all the answers and I'm going to fix you, and I'm going to just focus on you and not look at my stuff. And that's a recipe for disaster. That's not in my opinion, that's not the way to go about it. If we want to work with heart, if we want to work with soul, if we want to work with integrity, it's important that we have humility, that we are really like, okay, this is what I have experience in, this is what I'm trained in, this is what I'm able to offer you, and this is a safe place that I can create. So we look at these things, and also like respecting their map of the world, how they see things, and really respecting that, honoring that. Doesn't mean that we leave them in that, because obviously if they paid us to work through something, then it's our job to do that, to help them as much as possible. Though it's just being a little bit more humble with that. And I guess this is just coming up because I've seen a lot of stuff on social media and a lot of people claiming that they have the answer for everything and that their methodology is for everyone and everyone needs to do their program or needs to do their thing, and perhaps not everyone does. Perhaps it's not for everyone. And just being a little more humble with that and not forgetting the self as well. So if you have any questions, do feel free to pop them in the chat. I'm here for a little while. So this is the beauty of the live calls, that you have this opportunity to ask questions. And this will be the last live video that I do before the summer break. So those of you who are in other parts of the world, that you might be thinking, summer break? Like, yeah, in this country where I am, we tend to have a quite long summer break because it's so hot, and I'm actually going to study this summer. So if you want to stay up to date of what I'm up to, then do follow on Instagram, and that's at emmabradford.5. You can find out what I'm up to, and I will be traveling this month. Well, for the next 5 weeks actually, I'll be traveling and learning a lot more about movement and the body, and which I'm sure will bring some deeper insights into my work in the future. And also, yeah, having a little break as well. So wherever you are, whatever you're up to, I wish you a wonderful, wonderful summer, whatever you're doing. And I will be back probably in September. I will post the date when I know the exact date here on YouTube, and also on Instagram, and also on the newsletter. So if you're not signed up to the newsletter, make sure that you are, because that's where I share more of the personal things. And I will be back, and I'm unsure whether I will go back to doing weekly or monthly. So I'd love to hear from you whether you want weekly lives or whether you want a monthly live. I've been doing the lives every single week since January, so it's been quite a long time, and there's a lot of replays up there on YouTube. And yes, I'm happy to continue, though I'm also keen to really get going with some other projects that I have, and there's only so many things that I can do in in 24 hours, and there's a lot going on. So I would love to hear from you as well, like whether you want weekly or monthly. And also in September, so those of you in Barcelona, those of you in the area, there will be more in-person things as well. So recently I've teamed up with a women's health centre in Barcelona, and I've been doing some workshops there for mothers. And in September, there will be a women's circle starting. So I'll be starting a women's circle, and this will be once a month, and it'll be a wonderful opportunity to really come together and connect, and to really have a space where we can share and we can support each other, and really have a safe place, a safe environment where we can talk about particular topics. So we will talk about body image, we will talk about the masculine feminine dynamic within ourselves, and also within relationships. We will talk about like self-criticism. We will talk about the mother bond or sister bond. We will talk about the father bond. We will talk about the different archetypes as well, the feminine archetypes. We will talk about abundance. We will talk about pleasure. We will talk about all these different topics, and every month there'll be a different topic. So if you're a woman and if you're in Barcelona, you're more than welcome. And if you're not, there's the podcast, and also I'm keen to do a couple more meetups as well during the autumn. So maybe if the weather's good, they'll be on the beach and or in the forest, and if not, then perhaps they will be in the center like Artemis. So everything is online. So what I will do is I will also put the meetup link on the description. So when I finish this live, I'll put the meetup link. So I have the meetup group, and you can join, and whenever there's a new event, it will go there directly. So you'll find out about it there. And yes, there'll be plenty more to come. And one-on-one sessions continue as well. So if you are interested in any topic regarding body image, regarding how you see yourself, regarding negative self-talk, emotions, all of that, then do get in contact, because one-on-one sessions are available. and that's worldwide. And in September, they will also be available in person in Barcelona. So that's enough for today in terms of all of the updates and what's coming up. And I will link everything in the description after this. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Wishing you a wonderful summer, and the podcast will continue throughout the summer. So you have some wonderful episodes coming up, some really interesting ones. One coming up soon will be a live recording of a class that I did about a year ago, but the topic is still very relevant. So there's a live recording coming up, and yeah, many more interesting things. So that's all coming up. So thank you so much. Thank you for being you, and I will connect again after the summer. Much love.